So anyway, yeah, so you guys doing well?
Yep. And we're live in 5.
No!
4.
No!
3.
No! Welcome to episode 2 of The Good Report. Things you will not find on the front pages or the evening news. But few good reports sneak past our staff of 12 investigative journalists. Sorry, did I say 12? I meant one guy. What you are about to hear is verifiably true. And here is our pledge to you. When we make stuff up on this program, we'll tell you that we did. Tonight's program is brought to you by the Back to the Roots Organic Mushrooms Farm. That's right, for just $29, you'll soon be eating gourmet mushrooms right out of the box. Until now, you've been growing fungus at home right between your toes. Now you can grow your own fungus right at home, right in a box. We kid you not. Our first stop on The Good Report is the wilderness of northeastern Minnesota, where the U.S. Forest Service received a frantic report from a man whose backpack had been stolen by a bear. He said the backpack had, quote, several delicious-smelling snacks inside. Now, normally, rangers don't bother responding to such incidents, but something else concerned them. There was a pistol in the backpack. A conservation officer joined the U.S. Forest Service to search for the missing and armed Bruin. They found the shredded backpack close to some empty snack wrappers, and thankfully the pistol was still enclosed in its case inside the backpack. The bear was a pacifist. Good thing. Of course, the gun owner was not arrested. Perhaps he now believes in his right to arm bears. That was a long way to go for a joke, but we're willing to do this. Meanwhile, in Cape Cod, Massachusetts, patrons at the Cape Sands Inn were in for a wake-up call. Firefighters responded to reports of a crash. When they arrived, they spotted the culprit inside a room on a bed. It was a car! A car! I woke up and the car was already in the room, said Lindsay Katera. And my son went off of his bed next to the window and he flew onto my bed. Police say the driver lost control. You think? And crashed into the ground floor room. Well, thankfully, Katera, her husband, and their 3 children were fine. Last year we got hit by a drunk guy who totaled our new car, said husband Derek. This year we get run over by a car in our bed. I think we're done with the Cape. I should think so. Perhaps next year they will vacation in Cape Fear. Next up, we turn to our stranger than fiction files. Police in Yakima, Washington answered a residential complaint. Shots had been fired. They found a man yelling incoherently and a gun lying in the road. Witnesses said he was loading cans of soda into his fridge when one exploded. And, like any of us would do, I'm sure, he shot the fridge. Then insisted he had not shot the fridge. No, he said, that is not true. The people living in my basement fired at me first. He simply returned fire. Police noticed a few incongruities in his statement, however. No one was living in the basement, and that was because he did not have a basement. The poor guy was arrested, of course. When officers asked where he got the gun, he said he had found it. Perhaps he found it in the basement. We don't know. Time for one more. Ginny Oliver of Rockland, Maine, there's nothing on these, by the way, is called the Lobster Lady. She learned lobstering from her daddy when she was 8. Ginny wakes up at 4:45 to tend 200 offshore lobster pots 3 days a week with her son, Max. He does the heavy work for her because, well, he's only 78. Ginny is 101 now, old enough to be her own boss. You just have to keep going, she says. She plans to keep lobstering until she dies. What a remarkable gal. When asked, when are you going to retire, she said, when I'm dead. Everybody gonna die sometime. And how right Virginia, or they call her Ginny, is. But here's the good news. Hebrews 9 tells us we're only gonna die once. And it gets better. Christ, it says, was offered once for all time as a sacrifice to take away our sins. He will come again, not to deal with our sins, but to bring salvation to all who are eagerly waiting for him. Jesus has dealt with the sin problem, my friend. By his grace, through faith, we can approach God forever forgiven. Yes. I am Phil Callaway for The Good Report. Hey, let's go make somebody's day. And now I'd better go home and help my wife put some soda into the fridge. Hey, I just want to thank you because every time you push the subscribe button, something really cool happens to me. And so would you just push it, just now? Thank you. Oh, pizza. Thank you. Excellent. Pepperoni.